So my name's Jaime Selwood. I'm from Hiroshima University. This morning so far we've listened to some very interesting presentations about different apps that people have created and how they used it. I'm going to speak a little bit about the process of how I made an app for my students. I am not a computer scientist. Some of my students may also say I'm not much of an English teacher as well. So I really approach this from a non-technical side. My main research area, or my main material creation is podcasts and podcasting, which I'll talk a little bit about in a sec. And so my app really was to create a conduit for my students to be able to access the podcasts that I'm involved with easily. Therefore, the app was deliberately quite simple. What I want to do is just to give you a little bit of a background. First of all, these are the 3 podcasts that I'm directly involved with. English News Weekly is a current affairs weekly podcast of about 15 minutes, free for anybody to download. Each week is a new story. The level is, I would say, about sort of intermediate. I know that's a very generalised term. English News Monthly, I must admit, I have to say thank you to Fernando for last year at our conference for giving me the idea of making a more simple podcast for listeners. This is at the beginning level, comes out once a month. And then English News Students, these are podcasts that my students make. I have a couple of courses in each semester where the students make their own podcasts. If anyone is interested in that, I'm doing a poster tomorrow, where I go into a little bit more detail. So this was the setup. I wanted to get these podcasts into an easy app. As I said, I have no technical background. I went to Amazon and I literally bought the How to Make Apps for Idiots book, and it was too hard for me. So I went onto Google and did a how to make an app, really. And I came up with a lot of different types of companies. The one that best suited me was a company called Como, and I've got some prices here. It's not cheap. Is the first conclusion. However, I did originally try to use a free app server, and to my language, it was crap. It didn't work. The students couldn't access it, and so I went for this paid version. It's very simple, and it allows you to create. I'll give you some example of the pages in a minute. Whatever you like. I wanted to do a podcast, so this is what I focused on. As I say, it's €350 annually. There's also an iTunes fee and a Google fee as well. When you finished your app and you submit it to both Google and iTunes, that's when the trouble starts. Because you have to, especially with myself, I had to keep resubmitting the app. I was getting very much into a catch-22 situation. I ended up having a very long phone conversation with someone from Google, just trying to get the app published. That is the theme tune to the app, to the podcast. This is another app I use for a home page. As time's really an issue, I'm not going to go too much into that. It's okay. It's okay. That's the podcast music, yeah. I just want to give you a little bit of background about my university, my students, and myself. Hiroshima University is a national university, which basically means we have no money. So this comes out of my wallet. We also, my faculty are supportive in a theoretical sense, not so much in a practical sense. So this is very much myself doing this. I'm a lecturer. I have 10 classes a week. I have the News Weekly podcast takes me about 10 hours a week. The students is another couple of hours a week. So I don't really have a lot of time to develop some of the great apps that we were seeing from Spain. I'd love to do that. I just don't have the time to do it. Also, my students I teach are general English students, so they're not English majors. So there is a motivational factor in a lot of those classes, as well as an English ability level. So I really wanted to make an app that was simple for them to use. And this is what I came up with. Again, the clearing's not very good. On the right, this is the home page, which I'm just going to ignore. On the left here, this is the screen or some of the screenshots for the apps. It's laid out in a very simplistic way, so students have easy access to it. There are the 4 apps. You can go on there, you can listen to the audio, you can also download the PDF. So you can access the materials quite easily. This was specifically useful for the English News students courses, so the students were using the app quite regularly and listening to each other's work, and that became more interesting. I say time is... okay, I'm going the wrong way. Okay, very, very quickly, this is a little bit of feedback I got. I know this isn't by no means 100% scientific, but encouragingly, 71% said they were going to keep the app. Some limited further study that I've completed with the students who have gone on from my class. I have 1 semester classes. It's about 50% in actuality, so which is not too bad. Okay, this is just a few conclusions and a few. If you are interested in making your own app and don't have a technical background, these are some that I've used that have come across that are quite good. I know time's up, so thank you very much.